All right, so we're about 3 seconds off, I guess.
What, between the audio and the video?
Yeah, this one just, I hit them at the same time, but this one, like, caught up a little faster than that one, I think. But that's no big deal. All right, cool.
The editing process.
Yeah, right. I know. That shit's a pain in the cock. Pain in the motherfucking dick. But, fire this motherfucker up. I'm getting fucking busy.
Fucking ice is gonna sit out there and whine.
She's alright. It's a lot better than usual.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, it's funny because not even with their barking and shit was it really crazy. It was their slopping up the water.
Yeah, that, right? Yep. Cleo never fails. She fucking clacks her toes around, her nails around, and fucking sugs the water.
Yes, sir. All right, I got my weed for everybody to see. All right.
It'd be a lot cooler if it was still illegal.
I know it would, right? Yeah, we're
Look at me flexing.
We're in a good spot. All right, let's do it. Fucking welcome to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. On this episode, I'm chilling with my man Ray Sauce and our man Frater Chaplin. First and foremost, I just want to say to everybody that contributed to the very first Nonsensical Knowledge Turkey Drive. Thank you so much for contributing. We appreciate it so much. You guys that donated really are going to make a huge impact in the Arbor Hill area of Albany on Thanksgiving Day, and we appreciate it so much. Well, I'll list you guys all in the comments and all that bullshit, but thank you. Make sure you look out for the toy drive, and let's get busy, boys. What's good?
Yeah, same old, same old.
Chap, how are you?
Yeah, keeping busy, man.
Let me first off say, how weird is it to try to look at this camera?
Oh, we're supposed to be trying to look at it.
Right? I don't think you're really supposed to try to look at it, but like you gotta like kind of address it, right?
Pretend
like,
it's not there.
I mean, it kinda, right?
Yeah, I mean,
this is different for us.
Yeah,
this is weird.
I don't know. Well, comment below. Let us know. Would you rather us looking at you or?
Right, looking into your fucking soul. No, but anyways,
I don't know. The camera may not capture all of us. It's a lot of fucking handsome in here.
Yeah, fucking hey, dude. I know.
Might glitch out.
Yeah, it's overload.
Kind of pissed.
Sensory overload.
Couldn't get into Kenny to get my haircut first. Motherfucker. But anyways, there's a lot of shit going on, guys, in the world today. We got a lot of catching up to do. There was a lot of things happening in the media. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes with like social media and shit. Chap, obviously, we all know that Elon fucking finally went through and the deal's done with Twitter. And
the memes from that have been hilarious.
Oh my God, have they, bro? It's been fucking excellent. So, what's weird to me though is like the straight resistance from it. Like, did you guys see like how many people are like, "Oh, I'm leaving Twitter"?
You know what's funny though is actually
the
reactions to it of everybody being like, "Okay, leave."
Right? Yeah, our friend Sean's like been crazy into it. I haven't followed it too closely, but he sends me like everything he's watching it burn or whatever he says he's doing.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell what's really going on.
Let's lower your mic a little bit, buddy. Sorry to interrupt you.
Like towards down here?
Yeah, just so we can see your face.
Oh, gotcha.
So look, here you go. Just for a little bit of reference. So,
all right. Even better.
But yeah, who's that? That's Sean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his last name shall remain nameless. Sean.
Yeah, it's tough to really gauge what's going on. I mean, and I've never really followed Twitter, but the shit trending's like goodbye Twitter and here's my Instagram handle and shit like that. Like people are that self-absorbed where like, oh shit, you're leaving Twitter. I got all their followers are gonna follow them.
Well, and that's the funny part is
just
that all
average Joe.
Well, that's all these people being like, yeah, you know what? Who cares? See you later.
Well, to me, it's like, why though? Why are you so against? Like, I get it. He's the billionaire. He's the guy that's literally doing it to play with Twitter. You know, it's not. I don't want to say he's just doing it to play with Twitter, but he's the billionaire throwing around his weight.
I think he fucked up. I mean, just from the little I know.
Really, from buying it?
Well, just kind of how it was explained to me. And I mean, like I said, I haven't followed it closely because I've never fucked with Twitter. It's always just been way too overwhelming for me out of all the social media platforms.
It's too much.
It's like you go in there, you could follow like 3 people. You're still just flooded with shit. Like it's just always been overwhelming. But from what I heard, like I don't know if he really actually wanted to buy it. I think it was kind of like a stunt. And then the people from Twitter were like, wait a minute, we're going to fucking sue you if you don't buy it now. And he realized it was going to end up costing him like more than, if he didn't buy it, it was going to cost him more to not buy it. And he could have still been kind of forced to go through with buying it.
Well, yeah, they were talking about how.
But don't quote me on that. I'm not.
Well, no,
sure, but it makes sense of why he would back off and then all of a sudden buy it. And it's just, it's all fucking theater, man. I mean, Elon Musk isn't some rogue fucking billionaire. He's not Tony Stark's or fucking, you know what I mean? He's a douchebag. You're not allowed to shoot cars and rockets and shit to space unless you're allowed to do it. And he's the only one for some reason. Well, dude from Virgin too, Branson, but
yeah, I think a lot of that has
Mars exploration.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what has to do with him just having so much money and having so much weight to throw around, because who else on the planet does NASA have to even step to other than Branson? You know what I mean? Bezos now has his little Blue Origin and shit. But at the same time, to like really physically send shit back to the moon, like with this, I don't know if you guys saw the Artemis launch today or yesterday. It might have been yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
But NASA just sent out its very first rocket again for a lunar touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, not a manned mission, but
yeah, China just went there not long ago. Not a manned mission either, but they can't do a manned mission. It's impossible. You wouldn't survive. You wouldn't survive to make it to the moon.
USBC. Not
with anything that's built that we know of on Earth.
Well, right, and that's.
Unless they got the shit that we don't know about, you're not making it through the Van Allen radiation belts.
Well, this is
dying.
This is the shit that fucking aggravates me, though. Is like
radiation poisoning.
We're talking
painful way to die.
Right.
Look at how quickly some of the people at like Chernobyl and stuff died with that nuclear reactor meltdown. I can't even imagine the radiation level in the Van Allen radiation belt's thousands of times higher than that. And these people were dying within like a day, I believe, some of them, the ones that were immediately there, and they were dying quickly from radiation poisoning.
Well, yeah, and then there was a lot of them that were coming back really fucked up, and yeah. Well, we can still hear the dogs. That's cool. But that's
only
what
time they bark.
Hey, whatever, man. They're cool.
Don't bark when you come to the door, but
I'm convinced right now that the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast would not be right without an animal going crazy in the background.
Right, yeah, the cats will be scratching soon, I'm sure.
Fucking Christ. When I get a studio, dude, there's...
Got to get a dog to bring with you.
There's no...
He's got to be the mascot, man. You got to get a pup.
There's fucking no animals whatsoever.
Podcast pups.
And if you have an animal,
included.
Leave it home.
Right? That's my therapy pet.
Well, we're about to get him a podcast therapy pet.
Emotional support animal.
Give me something. I need something.
Should get some wild one, like, I don't know. I saw it one time, like a dude was trying to bring a tortoise or some shit on a plane. This is emotionally support animal, whatever the fuck they're called.
Well, with the shit they got going on, putting cat litter boxes in schools and shit, like the fucking kids that are like identifying as cats, and they're like shitting in litter boxes, dude. That shit's insane,
bro.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably get politically incorrect if you start talking about that stuff.
Yeah, listen, I know, man. Listen, it is what it is. Like, shit, that's a whole weird topic, but like, I think getting back to the whole shit with Elon being the guy is like, again, who do you step to? Who's got that kind of power? Bezos is uber rich and still don't have that kind of leverage.
Well, it's because we need these pop culture icons to do this shit for us, because we don't care about the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all that anymore. And
you don't want that.
I mean, the Rothschilds have so much money still. It's you don't even can't.
Well, you can't. You better be fucking careful what you say about the fucking Rothschilds, dude. Okay, because right now it might be taken as anti-Semitism.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? Because it's weird, bro. Because like
David Icke was anti-Semite because he said that they were lizards.
Yeah, I mean that's
reptile is code for Jew.
I mean that's kind of crazy to say.
Yeah, you could, there's actual videos out there of like in some of the Icke documentaries that he's done. Oh shit, thought I knocked where he's talking about, or they show clips from like the news and stuff. They're like, that's code from the ADL. And
look, I get that there is an elite something behind the scenes being the puppet masters, and I'm not necessarily saying it's Jews, because I don't think it really applies to anyone like religion, I guess, you know?
well, I mean, he's specific, like Kanye,
culture.
I guess, to talk about Kanye, because he's the one who's kind of brought this back to the forefront. I mean, he said the people that run Hollywood control Hollywood. He was pretty specific who he was talking about.
Well, the other thing he got in trouble, though, was for saying that he was Jewish.
Yeah, when you can literally historically trace the black Hebrews to David.
Yeah.
So he wasn't lying. Well, he might not be Jewish, but
Yeah, well, so that's where the big deal is, though, right? Is that, like, he's saying that, like...
black people, I believe, are the real Semites, and the white Jews, the Hasidic Jews, they're the Ashkenazi.
So that's the difference, right? Is like, oh, okay, so like...
I'm far from a theologian,
right.
but...
This is why we got the laptop out, because we don't want to be fucking this shit up, and we just want to have that disclaimer that we're trying to understand this shit also.
And we're basically just freestyling too, so it's not...
Yeah,
like
we didn't put no effort into this. Like,
I'm just going off of memory.
Well, that's what kind of bugged me out about the Kyrie Irving thing
Lack of memory.
and the Kanye West thing is that they didn't say anything. I mean, I guess it depends on who you are, but what they said is like, we are Jewish, not that like fuck Jews or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like I guess I don't get it. Like
all the stuff they're making Kyrie do to come back. They
Oh
forced him to apologize.
Right, Google that
Forced
shit. What's the terms for Irish? Yeah, that's a public lynching.
So just real quick, there's 15 types of Jewish people.
15?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Is that like definite though? What is that?
No, yeah, this is breaks it all down. You got a reformed
Judaism.
Jewish person, an
Well, yeah, I mean,
Orthodox,
it's like-
conservative.
I was just looking for the source, so that way we're not fucking. You know, was it Judaism?
Well, it's like Christianity. I mean,
Judaism
there's so many kinds of Christianity,
yeah,
from
Judaism times.
Baptist, Catholic, Presbyterian,
Yeah,
Methodist.
yeah.
You know, so there's a lot when it comes to everything.
Yeah, and that's and good for them. You know what I mean? good for all them like religious sects and however they interpret their religion or their God or their whatever they want to call it is like, you know, dude, why is that shit doing that?
And I mean, yeah, it was crazy what they're making Kyrie do, but you know, Adam Silver happens to be Jewish, the commissioner, so probably gets a little bit more upset.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, yeah, because.
But then you have like Shaq going on all these rants about Kyrie, and then it turns out that some of the movie theaters that Shaq owned played that same film. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I saw that too. Well, a lot of people get ahead of themselves. The Rock was one of them, for example, with the Joe Rogan situation. Like, he was like talking mad shit. Well, he was like in support of Rogan at first. And then somebody informed him of like what he said in prior episodes. And
Oh,
then,
yeah,
like,
the
he was
N-word.
like, yeah, and then he came out and like The Rock like was like, you know, it was weird, dude. It was a weird fucking thing. It was so strange.
The Rock did that, I think, to Logan Paul too. Had him
After
remove all his
Suicide
had him
Forest, yeah.
remove all his content and stuff. My daughter used to really get into that shit.
So where do you think a lot of this stems from? And this idea.
To me, it's pretty simple, man. The mainstream, the people that have controlled information for thousands of years, they don't to admit that, you know, Kanye could be Jewish, you know, or, you know, from the original 12 tribes, blah, blah, blah. You have to admit that a lot of the shit we were taught is bullshit, and the whitewashed version of history you have to kind of give up on and be like, okay, well, white people didn't invent everything and aren't the originators of everything. Black people kind of are in a lot of ways and a lot of things. So people, you know, a lot of the white mentality of like the mainstream and stuff, they're fragile. And
super.
They can't admit that. They, you know, it's like the argument you hear when, you know, person of color, not just black people, but killed every 28 hours or whatever by the police. somebody will come up with that stat of more white people were killed last year by the police. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, number wise, okay, but we're talking about
situationally.
We're talking about percentage. Like, if you're a larger percentage of the population, of course, but when you're talking about
the situation,
you're gonna if there's a million people, there's going to be more that are killed out of that group of people than there are of 10,000. But it could be a higher percentage of the 10,000 that are murdered.
Right.
So
yeah,
you can do whatever you want with numbers, but
statistics are statistics. Yeah, and a lot of them are skewed anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're based on focus groups, and you know what I mean. Like, don't get it twisted. Like the way that it happens is what? Yeah, you have this crazy white dude that just went up and shot a school. You know what I mean? Or do you have an? I actually just posted it in my stories today about when it was from a year, or I think it might have been 2020. It's like a memory that popped up about the Edward Thavian thing with Sergeant Randall French down in Troy, like with the dude. Yep. You know what I mean? Like he murdered the guy. That's a unarmed black man.
And then there was, but that wasn't the one that they hit with the car, was it? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Was that on Hoosick?
Yeah, it was on Hoosick Street, and the dude lied and lied and lied and lied. The Rensselaer County DA's office covered it up and gave him immunity. You know what I mean? And then fucking...
Not surprising in this area.
It was what it was. We're kind of getting off topic. But anyways, Google that shit. That shit's fucked up. But going back to it, it's like, yeah, the notion of this whitewashed history is really why the mainstream is upset. Because Kanye didn't say, oh, wait, you're not Jewish too. We're just the original Jews.
Basically said, how can I be racist against Jews? I am Jewish.
Right. Same thing. That's what Kyrie said.
Yeah. And Kyrie just shared a link, as far as I know. He didn't really comment on it.
Kyrie shared a fucking link, bro. He shared a link to, Ray, can you Google it real quick, what the link was that he shared? But I don't want to...
Hebrews to Negroes?
Yeah, I just
name
didn't...
Of the movie?
Yeah, I just didn't want to misquote it.
Yeah, I think it's H2N, Hebrews to Negroes. I didn't watch it. I think you got to actually rent it, so you have to actually pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know. But, he shared the link, dude, on his Instagram story. And they basically were like, yo, you're fucking anti-Semite now. And because, again, it's crazy to me that you can take a thought that someone has and put them in a corner for it. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, he has an idea that's not exactly mainstream. It's the same thing as me saying, yo, there's fucking definitively aliens, and you saying there isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is, and I get it, history would suggest, or not, whitewashed history would suggest that these were these people and these were these people. And then, you know what I mean? It's just...
Side note, as I'm looking for this link, it says that he posted a lengthy message on Instagram and apologized for the first time.
Yeah, after he got suspended.
Recently.
His original interview after posting it was like a 6-minute interview. It was really good. And he refused to apologize. There were reporters that straight out asked him, are you sorry for posting it? And he would not say the words, I am sorry. So after that, the Nets, I believe, suspended him 6 games. And then he put out the lengthy post where he actually said, I'm sorry, but he put it on Instagram.
Yeah, but they gave him a list of conditions.
And then after that, when he was already suspended, they gave him the list after that. Once he was suspended, 6 conditions or whatever to come back.
It was 5, I think, and he had to make a $500,000.
Meet with the ADL and all kinds. It's like,
he had to do that.
Of the community, come on.
Yeah, he had to do that.
So
he had
patronizing.
To make $500,000 fine or donation to the Anti-Defamation League.
Honestly.
And it's like, bro, you just, to me, that's a public lynching.
Let's say the worst case.
That's taking homeboy and being like, yo, you fucking said something.
Oh, they've been trying to discredit his character for years and years, and flat earther, and he shows up at arenas and will sage the arena and the court before they play. Like when no one's out there, Kyrie will run around and sage the court and shit. So he thinks he's Native American. He's a flat earther. For years now, they've been, I don't know why, they have definitely
because he's outspoken. He's got a platform. It's the same.
But he's not like outspoken in the way where he puts himself out there.
Oh, he's quiet.
They ask him, and he's honest. So I guess honest, yeah, outspoken with his honesty. Because you ask him, he's telling you and how he feels and what he thinks. But
right.
It's kind of a good segue because we were going to do MK Ultra shit and talking about Kanye and all his stuff. I feel like he's really, I don't know, I've been saying it for a little while. I feel like he's always kind of been a little glitch in the matrix. He's just, but they control both sides of the narrative. So it's like, you know, he could be given to the masses as that guy, you know, because they give you both sides, like they give you the Democrats and the Republicans. They give you both sides of everything so they can totally control the narrative. But he has said some stuff recently, I mean, calling out his trainer and showing the screenshots, a personal trainer that says you have two options. One, you know, basically do everything right here I say, or two, I have you institutionalized again and drugged into zombie land and you won't see your kids. A personal trainer having that type of fucking balls to say that to another man,
and especially
a billionaire who supposedly employs you. Right. And then you find out he has connections to Canadian intelligence, and more specifically Canadian intelligence that dealt with basically mind control type stuff. And then you find out some of the other stars like Miley Cyrus and Kim Kardashian, of course, and a bunch of other these celebrities and stars that he was a personal trainer for, many of who have had breakdowns mentally,
publicly.
And so, you know, then Kanye went on to talk about sacrifices, and his mother was a sacrifice, and Michael Jordan's father, and all these other people, and people like Vlad from Vlad TV, and other people like, oh, well, I interviewed Michael Jordan's father's killer, one of the killers, and he said, no, nothing, I just killed him. The mind control is so strong that there's literally, it's Manchurian Candidate type shit, where it's trigger words and pick up a phone, boom, trigger word.
Yeah,
go do what you're done.
They know how to set them off. That personal trainer stuff was kind of wild to me when I read the article, because
certain colors, certain patterns, words, anything. It could be a song. Like when someone hears this song, they get to that altar in your brain, activate it, and you're that person.
Yeah, and it's weird how like these networks of celebrities too will sit there and be like, "Hey man, you should fucking check out my personal trainer, bro." Like, right. You know, you should check out this guy.
Yeah, they're getting
who was that one guy that was teaching yoga, got big? They did like a 30 for 30 on him.
The dude who did the Bikram yoga?
Yeah, Bikram. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a fucking sexually harassed and raped a bunch of women, right?
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. He started Bikram yoga, which is basically like
I don't know what Bikram is.
Naked yoga in like super hot room.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and like really intense, and like had rules, and like
you got to show Evan what that dude looks like.
This dude was like a cult leader for yoga.
Yeah, you got to see what he looks like.
Bikram. Yeah. No, the mind control
he
shit. He
walk around in a Speedo.
It's insane, and it goes to that too. It's almost like a cult then, right? At that point.
No, yeah, dude, it was wild, and it was all like huge clientele that was going to this guy when he was big.
Oh yeah, I mean, people still do Bikram yoga all over the world.
I can't wait to get a TV right up on the wall and be like, look at this shit.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, because you just
plug in the HDMI.
So this is a picture of him.
All right, so I'm looking at a fucking
creepy
guy.
Dude walks around in a Speedo and shit.
Yeah, he is in fact in a Speedo.
Yeah.
He's got
you got a better chance of seeing him in a Speedo than
he's got a fucking 13 pack.
Got everybody.
It's like 78.
He's got everybody else doing yoga while he sits on a throne in front of the class.
You're doing it wrong.
The documentary though, he gets up close and personal for sure, and then he like screams at people.
Oh yeah,
like crazy.
It was really intense, and he had like
I have to check this out.
He had celebrities.
There's one on Netflix about him too.
Yeah,
you get to a certain. So what is it though? This is what I was gonna ask this question for both of you. I'll pose this question. What is it that when these celebrities get to a certain level of celebrity? So at what point did Kanye come across this trainer, or did he enter the circle? Was it Kim? Like, you know what I mean? Was it like when you just like kind of got in with these people that are brainwashing you and feeding you these pills? Because remember on the Rogan podcast,
he came out zombied with blonde hair.
Yeah, and on the Rogan podcast, he said it. He was like, "Yo, some of the closest people to me would be like, yo, you're saying that crazy shit again. Here, eat these pills, eat these pills, eat these pills." But at the same time, like, when does that happen? Like, when do you lose that fucking control over yourself?
Well, that's Fritz Springmeier. He's done like the best books, cult classics on mind control. I think one's how to actually, like, I have it. How to create an Illuminati, a mind control slave. But they break you down. I mean, they start when you're young. Most of these people,
I mean,
really believe
I can
in
imagine
that,
it depends on where you want to get. You know what I'm saying?
they're
like
created. They're not. You know what I mean? They're created. They're
if you're
not,
hitting a certain level,
random by any means. Not anybody who's a star that big.
If you're hitting a certain level of like, famousness, I guess, for lack of a better term, if you're hitting like a certain level and you want to keep going through the upper echelon of, being famous, you have to do this. We need you to do that. You're kind of getting forced to keep growing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's how it's working. You get to a certain point.
But do you think that's like a narcissistic behavior, or do you think that's like you're just you're on the wave now?
I guess
like you're on the wave.
I guess it depends because I mean, if you're catching like a full head of steam, with the public to where they need you, yeah, sure, maybe they're sitting there trying, forcing you to go a certain direction, but then
totally controlled, robotic.
I don't think it's all 100%.
You start to have an original thought, you'll get tuned up.
Well,
and it doesn't happen because this is for the people that are that big of stars and the people that are given to us, we know about, MK Ultra just alone is from the 60s.
Right.
So imagine how fine-tuned it is now. They've been working on it forever. All of mankind, they've been trying to figure it out, and they've known the assassins. Whether they had to use hash and make people think they're in a fucking paradise garden.
Yeah, but by now they already
do assassinations. Now they know how to scientifically do it and break your mind into different alters that are like.
Well, that's the thing. By now they already have the solution to it.
And then when they want to access that, they know how to do it. It could be a trigger word. It could be something somebody's wearing, a song. It could be anything. You know what I mean? And in your brain, they create all these alters, trauma. You try to block it out.
Also, in the same sense, we could all have been being programmed since we've been born.
We have.
If we're getting sat in front of a TV, you know what I'm saying? You already got shit getting embedded in you.
But that's television programming.
Trigger word, like you were saying, or
well, we hear them. They know what they use this certain language and they use certain words because they know that will make people buy stuff, and they do. They you know what I mean? We are programmed. 100%.
Well, and that's kind of what I was getting to is, do you think
the American education system is the biggest programmer from the time you're 5 until you're 18? They get you 13 out of 18 years, and kids these days, kids start going to school down at 3 because there's no child care. There's 3-year-old pre-K now, so they're getting you for 15 out of your first 18 years.
Yeah, and it's direct programming. It's what they want you to know.
Mold you all the same.
Yeah. It's I'm just talking about mostly with, how do these dudes get caught up in this shit? Like, it's just like
they're picked.
Right. You think that's what it is? Is like because even that personal trainer was working with people like Brittany Murphy, who died under mysterious circumstances.
Kanye went to
Mac Miller. You know what I mean? Like
Miller worked with that trainer.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so did Brittany Murphy's husband too? Because ironically enough, like a couple months later, he died of the same causes of her.
Yeah, they were both really weird circumstances.
Yeah, like, and it was the same cause of her. Like, they were saying that they were getting poisoned through their food. I was actually reading about that.
I don't know much about the school or anything that Kanye went to, but I'm pretty sure he went to a good private school in high school in Chicago.
Kanye did?
He wasn't like,
Oh, no shit.
I'm sure Ray could find that easy enough, but he went to.
Listen, some of the problem with searching some of these things, it's Jewish school too. It's giving me certain things that like I don't necessarily want to click into.
Maybe that's
because
where
it's not.
I would just go to if you got anything, go to Kanye's Wikipedia or whatever.
Oh, well, now you got me searching. I was looking at
Oh, just for his private school or whatever.
I could do that on my phone real quick, just because I know it'll come right up.
Hell yeah. Nah, it's wild to me. This shit is insane, bro. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I get, like, you get caught up in that wave of celebrity, and now you're hanging out, and, like, even, who was it? RZA and them said that they were invited to the party where they, like, were walking around and just checking out rooms, and
I think that was Inspector Deck.
Right. It was one of them. It was one of Wu-Tang. And then Sean actually just sent me recently the one of, who was it? Crazy Bone. Mm-hmm. And Crazy Bone talking about how they were invited to dinner or some shit, right, by somebody they knew, somebody in their like label or something like that. And
the way I always heard it, I think, is a dude who found, well, Eazy-E founded NWA, but I can't remember the old white dude.
Jerry Yella or Jerry Heller.
Yeah. I believe that's him, the old white-haired white guy.
That's the yeah.
Yeah, Eazy was always with him. I believe he's the one who like put that meeting together.
Yeah. Yeah. Really?
With the unknown people that, you know, the people that live in the shadows who really probably control shit.
Point of the matter is Crazy Bone said that they were like offered to like be a part of an industry, like to, I guess, speak on, or like basically create music about violence, drugs, guns, money, flashing shit, all that shit, to keep private prisons filled with inmates. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, and this like group, I have to play the fucking, you guys can Google it. I'll put it on the Nonsensical Knowledge page too, but Crazy Bone explains how they were like, some of the biggest stars in the industry were there. And, and a lot of them were on board, like, to go and be like, yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean? We're going to get paid.
Yeah. And they're already doing the music anyway.
Right, and they're already doing the music anyway.
So what was the school you were trying to have me look up?
Oh, no, so, yeah, just see
Can't
where
remember
Kanye
the private
went to
school. I tried to do it on my phone, but I didn't want to search too much. I just put in Kanye West High School, and everything that came up was Donda. So
right. But that's what I'm saying. So certain stuff that I'm looking up is
what's his alma
mater.
mater?
I guess if you go to his wiki, I looked.
No, not really.
His alma mater, isn't?
It says
he went to everything's Donda. I put in private school, and
so it says he.
Where did he go to high school?
So. Right, but it says he went to Chicago State University. He also attended the American Academy of Art in '97. It's not stating
where he went to school though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know he did. That's something I'm confident on. He went to a private school in high school. Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with that, and who knows? It could be like a charter school. I don't know. I never researched into it.
Oh, I found it. It's Polaris School of Individual Education.
Okay.
So what is it? What are they? Can you click on that or no?
No.
All right. I was gonna say what kind of school is it?
You can look up the school.
It just
right. That's
we're
what
trying
I'm doing
to establish for everybody listening. We're just trying to establish a pattern of like before Kanye became famous and being involved.
Is that the type of school where they tune you up? Who else went to that school? How many celebrities came out of that school? Because I mean, like we have Tupac, the biggest gangster rapper ever besides Eazy. Well, Eazy and Ice-T were real gangsters.
Argue that.
Well, I'm just saying, like in
we
public perception.
No.
But
don't
Tupac, I mean, you look at
life. Yeah,
you look at his. He went to like a acting school in Baltimore with Jada Pinkett, right? And you watch those videos of him. He was a little soft in the voice and stuff, like the actor, man. And 10 years later, he's, I don't know, what makes you change like that? But then again, I mean, he came from a family of Black Panthers. I think he was born, his mom was in jail when he was born, I think, right?
Yeah.
His uncle or whatever. His uncle Matulu, who just he's getting released.
Sure, yeah.
Finally.
Fuck. Yeah, I'd have to Google him, dude. But yeah.
Matulu, I think it's his uncle, but.
Either way.
Alfini, Asada. I believe Asada is still in Cuba.
Oh, dude, that fucking.
So I mean, he came from Panthers, family of Black Panthers.
Right. Well, he was a revolutionary in his own right. Like, I mean, it was.
But
it's weird.
My point is, was he controlled too? He was definitely to be that big. He went to, like an acting school that a lot of famous people come out of.
Yeah. And it's
come out of. I don't know anymore.
I get the connection, and some, it's strange because it is like, it's so crazy because I saw this theory the other day, or maybe it was even today, dude, of like how these did you post it, right? Where like these celebrities live like past lives, like they're all from different lives. Like
where there's like pictures of them from Nicolas Cage from like
Eddie
1840
Murphy,
and shit.
Bro,
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
I've seen those. Those are funny.
It just reminds me of that shit because it's like, yo, that looks like fucking Jay-Z,
But is Nicolas Cage a vampire? And they show you like 4 pictures from different eras of the dude. It's the exact same dude.
Yeah. But no, there's always a possibility because there's a lot of connections with all of that shit. And like just with all the Hollywood in general, because it's always been families and like close people that have run Hollywood, what was that Frank Zappa and are you good?
Yeah, the cord just keeps rubbing on this thing here, and I don't know.
Oh, you need some more? Here,
I think you might hear that.
Here, we'll give
later.
you some more.
It's good now. I switched ears.
Oh, okay.
But it was rubbing here, and I think you probably hear it.
Oh, maybe. I wasn't even paying attention.
When you go back through, you'll hear it a couple times because like.
Oh, just
Yeah.
shout out.
But we were talking.
Shout out for the hoodie too, man. You gotta get all the fucking crazy
from the Riz.
Yo, you see that? You commented on that video Joe posted, right, about the fucking the secret society, or what was it? That's another thing I want to talk. But all right, so obviously that's all ritualistic shit, though, right?
Which part?
That these celebrities are doing. So for everybody listening, there's a video running around on TikTok. It was very ill made. Like, I like the idea behind it, but it was like, it wasn't a great, I guess a well put together video. But it was basically trying to say that
it was a TikTok
Freemasons with the checkered floor and like all of these celebrities doing shit with videos with checkered floors. And
we don't even have a checkered floor in our lodge.
No. You get what I'm saying, though.
But
you know what I mean?
We're not really high up.
Right. You're not the higher upper echelons.
Yeah. I know someone
you're not cool.
I know someone who's really high up. My
Yeah.
uncle's friend's cousin.
Right. Yeah, right. But so with that being said though, like that's like still ritualistic shit that celebrities
But that's like
doing.
what I was saying with the triggers, patterns, polka dots. You see a lot of like they use patterns too as like a trigger to access different alters of the brain. They figured out how to splinter your brain, like the multiple personality things. I mean, that's real. We know that people out there genuinely have multiple personalities where they can switch. Maybe not. I don't believe they can just switch on their own, but there's even a documentary on Netflix about this guy. I think he had 23 different personalities, and he was like a serial rapist or a serial killer or some shit.
In one of them or all of them?
Well, him in his physical body was, but when they started doing all these interviews and shit, they found out I think that he had like over 20 different personalities.
Oh, shit.
Like a lot of times these personalities don't even know the other ones.
Well, yeah, they don't know.
Like fucking me, myself, and Irene shit. You ever see that movie?
Yo, you ever seen Split?
No.
You never seen Split, bro?
No.
Stop it, yo!
I don't
What's
think
his
I've ever heard
name?
of it.
Who was the guy that
Is it a
played
comedy?
Professor X?
No, it's James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
No.
The dude plays a fucking like I haven't
He's got
watched
a multiple personality disorder.
DID or some shit, right? And it's fucking like
That's dissociative identity disorder.
right.
Yes.
So like he's got these fucking personalities.
So think
He's
about
got
it.
like 23 different personalities.
They
James
create it.
McAvoy kills that role.
crushes
Dude,
it.
wanna save
oh
that shit.
man,
You trying to trick me?
Dude,
trying to trick me?
Yeah, dude, he plays like a 5-year-old kid, like a woman in her 50s. Dude, he is wild in that movie.
I just set myself up.
But so do you think that would be something that like is already established, or do you think that's something that like a government agency
They created.
Could create in someone.
I have to let you borrow that book, man, and read it because
which one?
Fritz Springmeier book. And they put Fritz in prison for years. I can't even remember. He might have did more than 10 years. Supposed bank robbery.
Rob the bank?
Yeah.
Is he broke?
Guy
wrote a book.
He wrote Bloodlines of the Illuminati. He wrote all like these cult classics, man. Fritz, I don't know. The whole story, you can look up the story of the bank robbery and the testimony against him and all that. It's pretty suspect. But he breaks it down in there. Literally, like they get these kids as babies, like, Britney Spears and all these people who are in the Mickey Mouse Club or whatever the fuck it's called, and not even the famous ones, the ones like Kathy O'Brien or who claim these stories that, she was sold by her parents, who her father was just an abusive drunk who met some people and started selling kids to them. And she was one of the kids that ended up being allegedly sold to Gerald Ford she was Gerald Ford, I believe, and way before he was president, and I think he was governor or whatever. She was sold to him, and Fritz breaks it down to where, they have different types of personalities that they create. They have different alters. They splinter the brain, give babies, infants, LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs, and create alters when the brain is literally from the time it starts forming. He has a part in there where he talks, and I don't remember where he got it. Obviously, he claims he got this information from somewhere, but where we're having kids take LSD, giving them LSD anyway, and having them like watch Fantasia, and he breaks down the whole movie like minute and second, like at 1 minute 7 seconds when this happens, this triggers this, and he goes in depth with it, which I don't know how. I don't remember. I haven't read that book in probably almost 20 years.
So he would obviously have to have firsthand knowledge of it, like somebody would have, or the secondhand.
Fritz. Fritz, the Bloodlines of the Illuminati. That's what every conspiracy theorist or anybody who even, that's the book they go off of, basically. And it's amazing. You just have to read it if you're interested in that type of stuff.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It makes all the sense, bro.
It's overwhelming.
There's so many connections too for everybody listening. Like this stuff isn't random. Like this shit ain't random. Like the Franklin scandal was a perfect example of like how this like politicians were trafficking fucking people, man, trafficking kids and shit.
Yeah,
like, and that I believe even the kid in that fucking instance had like a whole bunch of personalities, or like
Paul Bonacci,
right? Paul Bonacci. Yo, Google him when you get a chance, right? Sorry,
I believe he even
I'm throwing all kinds of shit.
I know, right?
Well, I'm searching stuff, and then it's going to the next.
Oh, okay. But so like, and that's another instance of these.
Paul Bonacci said that he didn't call it Bohemian Grove. He said it was a big forest in California. And when they took him there, he showed him where it was. It ended up being Bohemian Grove, but he claims he participated in a snuff film with another child that was made by Hunter S. Thompson.
Right, and that's
Hunter S. Thompson. Everybody, cult hero. You can't say anything bad about Hunter S. Thompson. People get mad. People love Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He was cool. He did drugs. He drank. He shot guns. Don't ever say anything bad about him.
But why is that? Why has he got such like an enamor around him? Like,
because of that.
There's even bigger celebrities that are like.
Well, the celebrities were into him because I believe.
But you'd think they would have these theories. Like, they got this information too. It's not like, like it's.
Johnny Depp was his boy.
Johnny Depp fucking shot him out of a cannon.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I think it was a cannon. His ashes.
Yeah, he fucking.
So I'm not sure the spelling on that. Paul
Bonacci.
It's like Bonacci. If you put in Franklin Scandal, yeah. Paul, it'll probably be the first thing that comes up. But I think it's
Franklin Scandal, because and again.
But they're trafficking kids out of Boys Town.
Again, this is real fucking shit.
And he supposedly is the one who helped abduct Johnny Ghosh.
Yeah, the kid that went missing, right?
Right.
Yeah, because he said that, right? Paul said that.
Yeah, said he and then he led them to a place out in fucking Montana or somewhere, But Bonacci, I believe, won his civil suit after he was eventually released from prison. And then I believe that the girl who was involved was Alicia Owens, I think. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's Alicia Owens.
Ray found some pictures. Yeah, just a whole bunch of shit popping up. MK Ultra survivor, a power brokers, Franklin scandal, a power brokers, child abuse and betrayal.
And the Franklin scandal wasn't uncovered. It's not some conspiracy. It's not made up. Former Senator John DeCamp is the one who found all of it. He was a lawyer. I think he won like politician of the year or senator of the year or something like twice in Nebraska. He was very well liked, and according to him, he was approached to investigate the Franklin Credit Union and all the things that were going on: cocaine, drug running, money laundering for the Contras and other drug running operations, human trafficking, everything. He said that all this information came to him, and they asked him to investigate it, and he's just like, okay, this is cut and dry. This will be easy. This is so far-fetched. It's ridiculous. And he started to investigate it, and he ended up getting out of politics and being strictly a lawyer. And then he ended up representing Paul Bonacci, and I believe her name's Alicia Owens, and all the other people involved. And he wrote a book. He did a documentary, which never even aired on A&E, I believe it was supposed to, right before airtime. No one ever was even notified that they played something else. Can't remember the name of it. It's on YouTube right now. It's been on YouTube for forever. But if you put in Franklin scandal, it'll probably come up. But he, years later, after it didn't air, claims he got a manila envelope in the mail, opened it up, and it was a VHS tape of that episode. Oh,
no shit.
Yeah.
No, it's insanity.
And like I said, this is a guy who won Senator of the Year. He supposedly was, one of the most honest guys, and seems to be the case.
This guy is the guy that caught him, right? The guy,
John DeCamp. He passed away.
Wow.
Within the last, I'd say, 10 years or so. But yeah, he became consumed with it.
I mean, bro, like once you start finding
got out of politics, very successful career in politics, and
once you start finding evidence of it going on, also you probably become obsessed with that shit, and then it's like, how do you really address it? Go ahead, Ray. What were you saying?
Well, so there's another documentary with I want to say it was like Who Took Johnny or something like that.
Yep, but, that was on Netflix. That was really good.
That's this
Paul Bonacci's in there, and they talk about the Franklin cover up.
Yeah, Franklin cover up. This kid went missing, and his mom, felt like nobody was looking for the kid,
right.
And as soon as they started getting into it, that's when all these guys that you guys are talking about get pulled into it. And
well, I was just trying to establish like how real it is. Like there's real instances on record of
he was a teenager
doing this shit.
He was a teenager, poor. This dude, I don't remember if it was a lawyer. So many years since I really was like obsessed with this shit, but. He was, like a young teenager, literally 12, 13 years old. I don't remember if it was the lawyer or the dude from the paper, but dude started paying him basically to be a child prostitute for him.
Right.
And then it was like, bring other kids back, give you $100. Started giving them cocaine, started doing drugs with them. So, when you start, so you're right there, you're breaking a kid's brain. You're controlling them, you're traumatizing them. 12-year-old kid, you're sexual abuse, drug abuse, mental abuse, let alone what he was going through at home with a broken home at that age, going out luring other kids. Hey, other kids like him, same position as him, same situation, I should say. Hey, I didn't want to make a couple $100, and we're talking about the early 90s, late 80s, whatever it was.
Good money.
He said good money. You remember? Fucking that Dahmer flick on Netflix. $100, good money. $100,
bro,
good money.
Yo, how wild is it that like motherfuckers are letting their kids dress up as Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween? I haven't seen it personally.
Just shows the
right. Did it really happen, or is that just one of those like
it's
things on the social media? Yeah,
it's true. It's got to be true.
I was at Walmart.
It's got to be true. I seen it. I seen it.
The fake outrage or like the fake good parent posts.
Did you see the Snickers bar with the extra dimension in it?
Yeah.
I did not.
Be careful of trying to slip an extra dimension into your kid's Snickers bar.
Yeah, some of the memes do have shelf life, man. Like the one every Thanksgiving or every Halloween. It's like my parents told me that there'd be drugs in my Halloween candy when I was a kid. Like, where are they? Like that shit.
That's like
It's like no one's giving drugs away. They're expensive.
Dare told me I'd have drugs in my face all the time.
Right? Yeah, that one too. I see that and I was like, I'm going to laugh every time.
Every single time, bro. Because it was so hard.
Yeah, with Dare, the dude came in with the state trooper or sheriff or whatever. Sheriff, I believe, came in with the briefcase, like the black briefcase. It was like the hard shell that locked. I remember just being, whoa, there's drugs in there. He come in and open that shit in the front of the classroom. And it had like the plexiglass in front of it. It was like marijuana.
Who was the
brick.
dog there? Scruff McGruff?
There,
that was another one.
McGruff the crime, McGruff.
Yeah,
McGruff the
Scruff
crime dog.
McGruff.
Take a bite out of crime.
Yeah.
Take a bite.
You're gonna have drug people in your face all the time.
Yeah.
It's insane how far the indoctrination goes, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
How crazy they get with these antics.
Well,
you know?
just look at
and
how
it all seems great in societal standards. Like, oh yeah, dude, we got McGruff, we got the guy dressing on McGruff talking to your kids. But
look at how it's just changed in our life. When I was in 5th, 6th grade when they were doing Dare, weed was in there right next to cocaine and heroin and all that other shit.
Devil's lettuce.
And now, I mean, it's becoming legal in more and more places. It's going to be federally legal sooner than later. And, just the other day there was a bust locally with 400 pounds. Did you see that?
Here?
On the Northway or something.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was 400 pounds.
Fuck. That
So like
sucks.
I just I saw it on like the news station's post. So
Don't
I was
move
like,
drugs.
I always on things like that. I like to read some of the comments just to see what gauge the temperature. I mean, almost every one was people just like, oh wow, yeah, waste of tax dollars, or glad you got these criminals off the street. Which it's just funny that the perception has changed. Where even like 10 years ago, people had just been like, lock them up. You got
Forever.
Good job, guys.
Is it the perception or is it just the people that
I think
literally don't care are the ones that are commenting? Like, really, dude?
Well, also that, but I feel like, excuse me, smoking. I feel like just culturally it's changed because I feel like they're preparing to legalize it federally, which means that big corporations will start
moving in,
getting into it, like Monsanto and Marlboro and all these other people, and you literally will go into
bug sprayed weed.
That's what I mean. You'll go into Cumbies and you'll
black and haze. Remember that shit?
But when they have it at Stewart's and Cumberland Farms, and you can get it as easy as you can get already get a wrap. You know what I mean?
So I'll say this. So
people are gonna buy it.
I mean, I haven't smoked in I couldn't even tell you how long now. Probably at least 7 years now. Like actually smoked. I'll do it here and there, but with not doing it now, when I'm around people, you can smell when it's like wrong. Like they'll be smoking it, and it's like, hey, where'd you get that from? And when they're telling you they went to some like special store to get it, it's like, right? Why wouldn't you just go get it from somebody that has it and is for sure where it came from, how it was grown, like. So you bring it up, all these corporations getting into it. It's like. Well, you kind of feel like they already are because you can smell the chemicals that you're burning.
Right, and you can see the narrative shifting where it's like, you see in the media and the news now, fentanyl-laced weed, and like they're going to start shifting it to where you don't want to buy your marijuana on the black market anymore.
Right.
You want to go because,
which is understandable. You can see it, legal. But again, like with me not doing it and knowing like. That there is different types, it's going to smell different, this, that, and the third, but like you can smell when it's wrong,
Right. Yeah.
I know, like, nah, dude. Even if I was smoking, I wouldn't smoke that shit.
That kind of touches into the mind control, though, shit, too, man, is that you get them going with the fucking, you push the smear campaign, like, oh, here's the fentanyl, here's all the fucking additives, all this shit, and then you push them into the arms of the dispensaries and the. Come on over here.
Well, right, but also in the same sense,
most
like imagine.
Simple thing is,
and then that's when they start hitting you with that shit.
Well, and imagine how many research people have been growing and I guess, progressing different strains and this, that, and the third, to where now it's becoming legal because maybe they figured out their formula, just like, mind control and all that other stuff. They figured out the formula. Okay, now we can start implementing it. Let's start making it legal everywhere,
Yeah. I believe there's some legislation that ends in like 2023 or 2024, which will allow, big pharma and other companies to buy into it. So that's when you'll see it become legal federally, because they control that industry and then the tax money. So obviously they're going to want you to stay away from buying at black market, just for the simple reason you're not paying tax on it. And the person selling it to you is not paying tax. So they're losing out twice.
Right.
So
yep.
They don't want
ain't
that.
Getting their little piece off it.
Yeah, so
nickel. What is it? If there's a nickel made in the
black
park,
yeah.
I want in on it.
Yeah.
I fucking want. Who's that? Frank White.
Yeah.
I fucking want in.
Frank White, Christopher Walken.
No, but it's. But again, it's a part of the whole thing. Though, is just like, yeah, we'll give you legal weed. We want you kind of high as fuck. We want you high as fuck, not really paying attention to most things. Like, oh yeah, it's cool. We got marijuana.
Vape
Well,
pens,
so like
man,
so
cartridges,
I guess
everything's so easy and accessible.
So again, I used to do it all the time.
Edibles.
So like I understand doing it and all that. But like now, if I go and do it, it's taken so much out of me to where I don't want to do it, because now it's slowing me down, dumbing me down. Like I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that to myself. So like
what I've found is,
and I'm not, and listen,
more.
Well, listen, and I know that other people, listen, I know that people, listen, I know but I know that people do it all the time. Again, I used to be that person, and it didn't affect me the way that it would affect me now.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I can see though how it affects other people the same way it does me, to where like, if they're smoking consistently, to where now you can kind of be more influential to somebody who's not shooting on all cylinders in a sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not firing up top.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you take a nice break from it, you definitely feel
your tolerance
brain,
goes crazy.
Yeah, and you clear up. It gives you a little fog for sure.
But that's, it would fog me up to where, you could sit here and tell me a whole bunch of shit. I'm not going to remember it, but it's going to be embedded now in my head to where, one day I'm going to be like, you know what, that ain't right. Or I say something fucking retarded because it's in my head, it's just easy. When you're slowing somebody down like that, you can say, do whatever you need to do.
That's the programming, how your brain gets programmed.
Right.
They don't go to your consciousness, they go to your subconscious.
Yeah,
and that's where they embed the shit, and then
right. So that's if you have, we'll say hundreds of thousands of people that are getting like that when they're smoking.
Yeah, like
you
TV,
can do whatever.
The flashes.
All right, so where do you think it switched with Kanye? In school, or was it like later on?
I don't know. I mean,
he got away from the fucking point.
Well, I mean, I was talking about
George Bush don't like black people. I mean,
what?
I said early on in his career, like when he was just getting big. Oh, I guess he was big from the second his single came out before his album did, but whatever. I mean, after Hurricane Katrina, he was on TV. He said George Bush don't like black people. Mike Myers looked over at him like, "What the fuck? Like you said that on live TV? They were doing the
Mike Myers, like
the
fucking
Austin Powers. Mike
Austin
Myers.
Powers. Like,
you don't never saw that?
Hell
This is back
no.
This is back after like Through the Wire and shit just came out for Hurricane Katrina. They were doing a telethon on TV, and Mike Myers and Kanye angry, like you can see it in his face, and he goes off on I mean,
it was pretty much.
It was great rant. And then at the end, he's just like, George Bush don't like George Bush don't like black people. And Mike Myers kind of looks over like, oh shit. Yeah. So that's like Kanye's introduction to the world, man. Other than his music.
No, I get it.
That was around
There's
the time.
no coincidences either why these people are there or in the positions they are.
Yeah. He could be the celebrity that is there for the people like me to be like, hey, could be a glitch in the matrix, or he could, but he's controlled.
How many babies?
But he's trying to break the control. They'll keep you around, and they'll keep you in service, and they'll keep you in those positions as long as you can serve them, and he can make them a lot of money. Going forward now, can he? I don't know.
Probably not.
But he was. The fucking Adidas is going to sell his shoes, just not call them Yeezys anymore. But they're going to sell the exact same shoe, exact model, everything, because they own the shoe. They own the rights to it. So they just can't use the Yeezy name. So the exact same shoe is going to come out, but it just won't have the supply on this. You know what I mean? And it won't have his name anywhere. It'll say Adidas, but it'll be the exact same shoe. They'll charge the same amount of money. People will buy it now out of spite.
You think so? Like
those types of people will, yeah.
Kanye, probably, but like
at least they'll say they are.
That dude's got a legion, though, bro.
I think that'll only go as far as people buying the big baller brand, dude. Like, I don't think it's going to be as lucrative as Adidas is hoping.
Yeah, exactly. It's Adidas.
Well, no, because I
people
think
love
Ye
Adidas.
Takes the value with him. Like,
no, but that's what I'm saying. So, like,
they would never get these collabs with Gucci and Balenciaga and Gap and Balenciaga. Gap was barely in the malls or anything anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't know how they're doing, but I know they were selling out everything that he did in his clothing lines. They were selling out, no problem.
Right, and quickly too. Like shit was like going off the shelves type shit.
Yeah, well, then you sell out online instantly.
Well, then you can imagine they're losing a certain demographic too, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean,
like because
they'll keep you around as long as you're
let's be honest. Who's typically walking into the Gap to go buy their clothes?
Let's see.
So how many babies do you think Drake has sacrificed?
Off the top of my head, probably good,
I'm just saying, he's at the pinnacle of all of this shit. Boy, he just got some like $500 million deal from his record label.
He's probably just getting humiliated in every way possible. Like, fucking,
what do you mean?
By his handlers.
Just taking shits on his chest.
Yeah, exactly. You know where I was going with that.
Nah, it's insane, man. But
fucking,
I was just wondering,
making him play dress up and shit.
Oh man,
Well, that's the thing that was like that kind of triggered the thing with the video, because like when I saw Ski post,
he was a Nickelodeon kid.
I saw, who's that?
Drake.
Yeah, no.
Degrassi or whatever.
Oh, that was another guy I wanted to...
He was an actor.
That was another guy I wanted to bring up.
I think Drake's
Who's the dude
Jewish.
from That's So Raven?
Corey Brown.
Is that what his name is? Corey Brown?
Orlando Brown.
Orlando
Brown. I had a different thought in my head about a Corey, but Orlando Brown.
Well, Orlando Brown, he's a cat that was on that show. That's what it was.
I'm So Raven.
I'm So Raven.
The girl that played Raven bugged out and went crazy too, didn't she?
Yeah, she kind of she did, but now she's back on. Now she's back on Disney though.
But Orlando, bro.
Oh, she's like the mom on the show, huh?
What did he say? He said Puffy blew him or some shit. I can't remember.
You're right.
He said, Nick Cannon was like,
dude. He said
you're right about Puffy.
Dude, he said he was getting like fucked with by a bunch of dudes, man, like that were celebrity colleagues of his, even coming up. To where like some of them like obviously threw him to the wolves. Like I don't know what he's talking about. He's fucking
Nick
losing
Cannon.
it.
He had some very crazy accusations about Nick Cannon and like Puff Daddy, and like there was just a lot of shit, man. Where he like broke, like something happened, like where he was just like, yo, I'm fucking nuts now. But who knows? Like who knows if what he's saying is actually fucking true? And now it's just like Nick Cannon's just sending out the tweet, God bless my man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but he's like, this is a culture of fucking abuse throughout Hollywood, and it's nothing new.
Well, I mean, just you can look at a basic human fundamental level and take conspiracy and shit out of it. They don't even have like child labor laws. Kids can be on the set all fucking day. They don't have to go to school. They can have a tutor there. They could, get their education on set. Like, they don't have the same regulations and laws the rest of the world do, especially when it just comes to children.
No, yeah, and then it's pretty wild.
All these child stars are either end up broken or they go on, broken, and drug addicts and alcoholics, and suicide rates got to be crazy in fucking Hollywood for child stars.
And it's funny you say that. So I had watched like it was like a reunion special for Harry Potter. And as they're interviewing, the people that you watched grew up through those movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're sitting there telling you, like, who was it, Emma Watson in the reunion things, like listen, she's like, I was trying to quit. Like the only people that were
have a bunch of issues too? Like,
yeah, she was like losing it. She was like, I couldn't
depression?
handle it no more. She's like, the only reason I stayed was because of the dude that played Draco. I forget what his actual name is.
Soldier Boy? No.
Yeah, so, tell him.
Draco?
Big Draco?
Is that him, right? Soldier Boy calls it that? Okay.
But not a kid that played Draco Malfoy. I can't remember his actual name.
Drake? Have you ever seen that interview?
Something Felton was his name. But he
she had,
they were like tight on the set growing up and whatever, and he was the reason that she ended up, he helped talk her into staying and all that, because she was dealing with depression and not being able to be a child. Emma Watson during the Harry Potter reunion.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a 20-year reunion special on HBO.
Fuck, I forgot to watch that. And she was saying she was dealing with depression on set.
all sorts.
Well, I know, like publicly for a while she was like going through it. It was
now she's like a big movement
for like mental health,
feminist,
stuff,
right?
Something, man. I'll look that up. But she was
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a tabloid that I saw.
She might be. I'm not really sure, but she got into all those movements and stuff over there. She's actually like a part, like something in the government, I believe. I could be wrong, but she I'm looking that up right now. So
yeah, no, I mean, but they don't really care. Like
UN Woman Goodwill Ambassador.
Oh yeah, now you say that, yeah.
Her.
UN.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's crazy, man, because they really don't. The way they treat these kids is just absurd. Like, look at like even going back years and years ago to John Bonet Ramsey. You know, like that shit. Like the way they used to fucking mule these kids. Like,
bro, they had a TV show, a reality TV show, showing you these pageant kids, dude. Like those kids that they stick in pageants. Yeah.
Dude, well, that goes... What was that fucking shit with Chrissy Teigen, bro? Like, Chrissy Teigen had a bunch of, another conspiracy that, actually ain't a conspiracy. There are old tweets that, she fucking had.
Well, yeah, that was kind of
that were, sexually suggestive towards children.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
That fell in the time when, Pizzagate and Adrenochrome was fucking blowing up.
So Sarah Silverman's one of the first one that came out against Ye, of course, and then there's plenty of pictures of her in blackface, and then the tweets that came out. Well, she tweeted them, but people brought them back up when all the Pizzagate type shit was going on, where she was saying the same shit about children. There's one I remember off the top of my head was where
Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, where one of the first ones one that sticks in my head is
she was banging Jimmy Kimmel anyway.
Yeah,
and Matt Damon.
She said something like, "Is it wrong is it pedophilia if the child makes the first move or something, or is it wrong if the child makes the first move or some shit?"
Is that her being a comedian? And I get
I don't find anything funny about it.
It's not funny at all. But she's
even if you want to make,
she has been. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying,
she's always been a fucked up comedian.
I'm all for pushing the limits in humor and everything. Right? Yeah. But that's not funny. There's nothing. I don't see the angle.
You're right. No,
I got a sick mind, man.
Well, especially when when certain things are just so present that it's not. I don't know. I know it's gonna sound like cliche and stupid, but that's something that's big in Hollywood and political shit that I'd rather not try to make it okay or desensitize the situation. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
The joke wouldn't swing.
Yeah, it's not okay. But at the same time, if Google the Chrissy Teigen tweets with the
it's even worse though. I found the tweet.
old tweets from Chrissy Teigen. I can't. I don't know the way.
I'll look them up. She said a bunch of sick shit.
She said some really fucked up shit.
This one, hold on. This one,
I don't know how we got here, but we're here
because we were talking about Ye, and then
this all comes down to the programming and the kids getting
Oh, you're good.
I found the tweet. She said, "Hey, is it considered molestation if the child makes the first move? I'm gonna need an answer on this one real quick."
And this is, oh my god,
Sarah Silverman.
That's not funny.
That was from
That's not funny.
7-7.
But that's another fucked up part of society, though, is where they'll allow, like, say that's a young male she's talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, but here's a Chrissy Teigen tweet. Seeing little girls do splits half naked is just ... I want to put myself in jail. Toddlers and tiaras hashtag.
That was TV show.
That was the show, yeah.
That was a TV show, bro. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. There's other ones. There's like other.
Oh, dude,
ones.
yeah, nah. There's plenty here.
Where?
I'm not gonna say her, just read them all.
And not only that, but she was like straight up degrading human beings on fucking Twitter, like telling people to go kill themselves and shit.
Yeah, but then she
this
turns
is John
around.
Legend's wife, bro.
Yeah, but then but then she turns around and starts, crying, bloody hell because people are ripping her apart for these, for these tweets and the shit that she was saying. Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are bullying me on Twitter or the internet.
Right. Didn't she like threaten to leave Twitter or something?
Yeah,
like,
she was another one. Yeah,
that was before Elon. Yeah, it's like, who gives a shit?
It just goes to show the entitlement, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I can go and tell this girl to go kill herself.
One of the big things about Elon, the hang-ups of him buying Twitter was Twitter didn't want to sell to him because they didn't want it known how many accounts were actual bots.
Yeah.
Bots.
Yeah.
Because
accounts,
then,
because he made that a stipulation in the contract. Like, you have to give me the number.
If it was a certain amount of fake, a certain percentage or whatever, then you're lying about how many users Twitter had because he always planned on monetizing it.
Sure.
So, I mean, I think it's funny. Like, I love that shit. That's great. That people have gone on and just created literal clone accounts of politicians and shit and paid $8 to get a check mark. They did it with LeBron. Someone created a mirror account of LeBron's and saying he's going to get traded
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm out. I want to be traded.
News picked it up.
Yeah, it's all over. They've done it with other actors and politicians, and I want to fuck you. Your blue check's not prestigious anymore. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, Elon fucking put up a public poll, bro, to see if he should allow
Speaking
Trump.
of which, we might have some breaking news. I got a text from Sean.
Yeah,
we were talking about Twitter earlier.
Trump's being
Sean.
reinstated.
That's what he just said. He just texted me. Trump's back on Twitter. There's another meltdown. I'm like, you're the one melting down, motherfucker.
Yo, for real though, because like it was funny because I saw it the other day and there was like a poll in my Twitter and I was like, I am not voting in this poll. Let's hit this one out.
Yeah, let me see who I can ban off of here.
No, but it's like
But I thought he said he
leaving
wouldn't
it
come
up
back
to the
to Twitter.
people. He was
right.
He was put up a poll and then the people voted yes.
Didn't
since he
Trump
took
say he
over, I
wouldn't
haven't
come back
been
to
on.
Twitter?
Huh?
I thought Trump said he wouldn't go back. I thought
Well,
they asked.
well, they have that.
Elon is inviting him back. Bro.
No,
Stop
no.
it.
I
This is
thought
theater.
I know, but I'm saying I thought they asked Trump after Elon bought it. If he.
Well,
would
he's
give
got
his
his
Twitter
own
back.
shit
Trump
now,
said he
though,
wouldn't
too, right?
tweet. He's on Parler. I think.
Yeah, he's like co-founder of Parler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
They
thought it
didn't.
was
They didn't
something
get.
they were
He didn't
working
get
on
Alex
another-
Jones's account back.
Well, I think they were working on another one too called
Rest
Truth
in-
or something like that.
Rest in peace, Alex
Yeah,
Jones.
they didn't give Alex Jones's account back.
Nah,
on
they're
Twitter.
not gonna.
I don't know if it's real or not, but I saw some screenshots of people saying, we're bringing back Alex Jones, and Elon supposedly answered one. It was just no.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was real or not.
Sensitive
Not
topic.
on Twitter.
Still. Trump is a couple of years removed right now. So it's like
Running again?
But like I said, he's probably running again. And
Oh, he is. He announced it Tuesday.
Yeah.
He announced it Tuesday.
Yeah, they were talking all
He was on
last
TV.
week that he had a big announcement coming.
Oh, man.
15th. Yeah, he was on
Yeah,
TV.
and then he
I
came
watched the
out
shit.
and
I didn't see that, bro.
no, he's running again.
It was
My
great.
God.
It was hilarious.
They were
He was roasting
some people,
Joe Biden.
dude. Some people
Roasting Joe Biden.
Some people were expecting
like
him to
this
drop like
He'll definitely be back
like
on
bigger
Twitter.
stuff, and it's like no, he's gonna announce running again, and no, he's gonna say he's gonna start dropping names and doing this
QAnon shit and all that. Hey, if we have to watch this movie, I want to
Who's
see.
he running with?
He didn't say, but
There's an
if we
idea of a
have to
person,
watch
but I
this
can't
movie,
remember who.
I want to watch Donald Trump be a part of the election, the whole process, because it's that funny. It just reminded me the other night. I'm like, I'm going to watch. I know he's going to announce. Travis and Sean were texting me like, are you going to watch? I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on. Because it was hilarious. So I turn it on. The shit's hilarious. he's everything's so doom and gloom.
Sure.
Just the way he speaks,
Trump?
yeah,
It's
like
Trump?
the way he talks, and it was so. And then, but he was roasting Biden. So I'm like, I gotta see these guys debate, like post COVID, where they're not on Zoom and all this other shit.
Dude, he would slaughter it, bro. What are they?
In 2020, he was.
They would have
wanted
to jack fucking Joe Biden up on so much.
That's what he said. He
Adderall,
wanted him
bro.
drug tested. In 2020, he was like, and they were doing everything they could, Biden, to not have to debate
That dude's just getting shots in the neck
because of
randomly.
COVID.
Yeah.
Get out
Hey, wake
there.
up.
Yeah, he's a walking corpse.
Just read the teleprompter.
Dude, he was talking about
He's probably
something.
like this.
He was listen.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really watch
Uncle
a lot
Sniffy.
of mainstream news, but like it was on the other day, so I caught some of it, and like just listening to him talk, you're just like, first off, that word didn't even belong in that sentence, dude. like, what? Did you pre-read it? Do you got a prompter that you're trying to read off of? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
he's like
king
you
of the
said,
teleprompter.
walking corpse, that dude.
Yeah, well, I think there's a
Oh,
lot.
Trump! I was talking about the king of the teleprompter. Yeah, Biden.
There's a lot of other options.
It's sad. Man. Well, it's not sad. He's just an old man, and he's a
He is
slime ball.
slime ball.
Always has been.
He's a clone.
But it's
So I was actually
old man
talking-
and dotage, man. Like,
Just side
shouldn't
note,
be allowed.
I was talking about this the other day. Robin Williams, like back in his earlier stand-up days, was ripping apart this dude for the same shit.
Plagiarism,
And this was
though,
what,
right?
probably like back in the 90s.
I think it's for plagiarism though, because he copied his speech.
Yeah, but no, he was just calling out all the same shit that Biden's doing right now, like
Yeah.
literally through the whole stand-up.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Somebody voted for him. I don't know.
He got more
Did
votes
they?
than any president ever.
I
they?
don't fucking know who.
He got the
dude,
most
but,
votes ever out of any president ever. And Donald Trump got the second most ever.
I didn't even,
In the same year.
Yeah, same year, right?
yeah.
With
I don't
mail-in votes and everything.
know. All that
This
shit.
election, I mean, there's a bunch of fishy shit that happened in this election, especially in Arizona and other states. It's like,
It's already, but they're already setting it up, bro.
go get your sticker.
Look, again, fuck politics, man. It doesn't matter. This is all theater. This is like even with the Elon shit, letting him back on Twitter. This is all theater. This is all shit to keep everybody's attention grasped. It's drama. It's like we're living
It's
in
to
a
leave-
soap opera, bro.
It's
Like,
to leave confusion, dude, so we all can't be on the same even keel and keep a mutual consciousness, man. It's all for
people-
a reason.
people are waking up.
And they are. We're all
Even
like,
if it's not all like what we would say waking up, I mean, the fact that people are questioning everything.
there's still confusion there. There's still confusion there.
definitely.
The eyes are opening, but there's still confusion there.
And the powers that be are definitely scared because fear is the number one controller. And if people are starting to lose
You
that
don't want
fear,
you don't want the numbers on the
you
same
can't
side,
control 'em.
man.
Right, yeah, because we all number them motherfuckers.
Yeah, you
fucking
don't want the
1,000,000 to
numbers
1
on the
or
same
more,
side, man.
Literally, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think we just hit 8 billion people on Earth in the last month.
Yeah.
oh, I did see that
Yes,
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so out of 8 billion people, I mean,
Yep.
if it really is 1% of Bernie Sanders, no, but if it really is that small, and to me, I believe it's smaller than 1% of the population. It is smaller than 1% of the population that
Possibly
controls
could
the
be.
world.
I'm sure
I don't know
there's
that.
I'm sure there's a decent sized circle
Of what?
of people that are running the show. The Oz behind the curtain, if you will.
Oh, they're running the world.
Just running the
universe.
show. Running the running the show.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. Oh, look, man. It's
Can't really put a scale to it, dude. We don't know for sure.
Oh no, dude! It could be one jerk off behind the scenes.
Right.
The Matrix.
The Oz behind the curtain. You don't know if it's many, few, one person, like you said. Who knows?
Well, we know,
But there's definitely someone behind
it's
this
just
curtain.
a few families, and it's a few
It's
few
the
groups.
cabal.
So it may add up to more than 1% of the planet, but it's a very select group.
But why do you think? Why do you
controlling
think
everything,
it's like
literally.
we're so easy to be herded like that though? Like, why is it like?
There's so many.
Our brain.
Well, not only that, there's so many of us. How when you make a demand of something that we need, and you can control that demand. I mean, it's really not hard.
Well,
Well, it's not hard to. I understand that process of like, all right, providing a service or food or whatever the fuck you want, but whatever you want to call it, and having to depend on that eventually, like they have you built into that system where you're depending on that whatever is coming in. But like at a certain point, it's got to be like, oh, this is a trap.
Well,
this
what
is the trap? Like we're in the trap.
I mean, I guess it's already been
Ike
just so
talks
much
about
established over time.
how they
This is the mind control.
It's
mind control.
Yeah, they try to go and activate or go to the one part of your brain, like the reptilian part of your brain. He calls it the core part, the
Which is
oldest part of our brain,
which
according
is a
to
real thing.
evolution. Yeah, which at one point was like, which is consume and territorial type things. So they, if you target everything at that, you're going to be using that part of your brain predominantly. You know what I mean? So it is like go out and consume, buy this, do that. Not the more logical parts of the brain that we should be using. Whatever, math, music.
Yeah. No.
Stuff that really would make changes in the world other than,
Well, and evolution and consciousness, we're still so primitive, and like I think that like
I don't know if I agree with that totally.
what primitive?
Yeah,
Dude, stop.
I think that we're limited because we're conditioned to be
Well, that's what
worker bees.
that's what I'm saying.
think-
Though, is
If
like,
we were allowed to freely, I mean,
but that's what I mean. Though, is nothing's freely. So like it's like,
but there are people that do, and it's amazing. Like you watch the people. What was that show that used to be on like National Geographic? They would test like the limits of people's bodies, and they'd have people that would just scale the side. I mean, people that scale this rock
Man
climbing,
versus.
man versus. Yeah, so like it can be done. The human body and brain. I mean, people. It's almost
yeah.
But compared to what we use it for.
No question.
Especially the brain.
I agree, but we're not in a system that's built for that.
Right.
Well, no,
The system we're in
So
is built to bring that down. So like that's what I mean. We're being held back in a sense.
100%.
When we get technology, when we're given our cute little cell phone right here that's hooked up to the camera that I can hit stop, record, all this other shit, like the military done had that fucking 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Well, again, shiny.
But at the same
right.
time, but at the same time, what were they trying to do on top of that with all the technology we have, with all the computers and everything? What are they still trying to do? Mind control and things like that.
Yeah.
Create super soldiers with like
I know,
Project
it's so
Artichoke
good.
and LSD.
Fucking
And-
war.
Slow you down, man.
go to war.
Remote viewing, like the CIA were bringing
That was-
in remote viewers over, and they had computer technology and stuff like that then, but still trying, and they had spy planes and things like that, and they're still bringing in like remote viewers because these people who know mind control and things know how powerful the brain really is.
Oh, sure. They had whole operations. Ray and I actually on the way over here were talking about that. I think it was Operation Stargate. Or
I used to know.
I'm not sure the exact operation, but essentially it's pretty much it ties into some of the stuff we're talking about with the kids disappearing and being conditioned. And
I used to know a really cool stat, and I don't just little tidbit. I don't remember the exact numbers, but a honeybee's brain makes like 50,000 calculations per second. It's more powerful than the world's fastest supercomputer, and the human brain is like 100 times or 1,000 times whatever more complex than a honeybee. You know what I mean? So how much could we really do if we were using
all of it?
Yeah, I mean, we're just bombarded in every
Well, it makes you wonder.
All of our senses, we're just bombarded.
Well, it makes you wonder at what point did
Things to control certain
did
parts
that
of the brain.
growth get stopped?
I'm not sure it
Yeah.
got stopped. It's just that.
Well,
so it's like
no, I'm saying by the people that are
the brain, like
running the show, the eyes behind
Yeah.
the curtain, figured out a way to stop that from happening.
think about
Because
it.
you can't imagine these people that are running the show or making these choices aren't already at that level to where they can do the things in their head that we only conjure up thinking about or can imagine.
Yeah, keep us distracted, keep us scared.
Well, that's what kind of drives me nuts
Then
about
keep
it.
us
It's just like you
entertained.
have this information. Like they did these projects, they made it advancements in these things, remote viewing, astral projection, telekinesis, like they have actual data, you know what I mean? And it's like of shit that human beings can do, and most likely all of us can do with the right, you know, preparation or however, you know, but and they don't give it to us. That's why we're held back, and that's why I say primitive.
And we don't have enough time or a chance to explore our brains or train them otherwise, because you're just bombarded.
Well, right, and that's but that was just going to my point where I said we were primitive, because when we look at it in the grand scheme of things, if we were more consciously elevated and we didn't have to do this little like you said, the beehive.
Well, we're getting held. We're getting held at a stand. We're hitting a ceiling, and nobody's opening up the retractable roof type deal. You know.
Yeah. There's no level up.
Right. Nobody's letting that roof open.
Look where your brain can go on DMT.
It goes.
That's still your brain.
That motherfucker goes. Let's say that much.
I mean, DMT is altering it, but it's your brain still. You know what I mean? Like, so,
and it's there, like it's right in front of you. So
yeah, you're there. You go there.
Well, and so imagine, you know, we'll say in, I guess being theoretical, if everybody was connected on a one conscious thing, like, you know, there's talks about, if you were able to lift that, you know, retractable roof and do those things, there's not really much control that somebody here on this plane can have. Right. You know,
exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I feel like that's kind of what's been happening, is the vibrational frequency. People, you know, it's like the radio. There's different frequencies.
You wake up one more person, it's another person that wake up. It's another, because it's all connected in a sense, I guess you would say.
And it literally goes around the world. It goes through humanity. The vibrational frequency, everything. Each thing you say is out there. It's infinite. Your sound wave never ceases to exist. It goes out.
For sure.
Why words are weapons. You know what I mean?
Oh,
everybody can tell you, like, there's at least once, if not many times in your life, where it's like kind of loved one, a partner, somebody, you would much rather have had them like punch you in the face than say something they said to you.
Right.
Or and mean it and feel it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being mad's mad, but words, it's like, no, they hurt.
And fuck yeah, man.
It's vibration. It's frequency.
You can't take them back. You got to watch what you say, man.
But
again, all this confusion and stuff, if you go off of that thought process, all this confusion and bickering back and forth over, anti-Semitic, or, this person's racist, or, this, that, and the third. You divide so many people, you can never have that one consciousness to be able to, you know, I guess, ascend from where we are now.
The Christ consciousness.
Well, you need that. You need the division. You need the lines in the sand. You need the country. I need to support this. I'm here, I'm there, and then I got to protect myself from you because you're the big bad wolf.
Right.
There's this going on, and you're trying to take our. In 2022, we're still trying to invade other countries. Right. We still have the UK and the Queen of England, or now that she's passed, the King of England. That is like the king of all of these fucking commonwealths, quote unquote, commonwealths that they just rule over still. Mm-hmm. Like, what is it? Like something like
just because of
like 30 something. It might be like 200 states or territories, bro. That
still the biggest landowner on earth, the crown.
Yeah, in 2022, and that's why, like, I just feel like it's insane that they keep us here in this thing. You know what I mean? While they're just. You know.
And it goes back to just being as easy as taking somebody like Kanye West and being like, hey, we need you to, you know,
it's your turn.
Be that guy that tips the scale. And
the mind control runs so deep in the way they can, like, it's mind control is just a powerful term. Like, they've whitewashed it, and they've whitewashed MK Ultra and how serious and how, I mean, mind control. That means they control your fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, well, once in a while, when we want to. No.
To make sense towards what you're saying right now is like, they took the term being woke and made that some irrelevant thing. So now being woke could mean a million different things.
Grabbing a latte at Starbucks.
Right. It's so crazy.
Yeah. It's absurd. How
Coffee shop revolutionaries.
Yeah. Who knows, man?
I was so woke not to get that haircut today, like it's like that, like, wow.
It's okay if a 12-year-old wants to chop his dick off. I'm woke. No.
Well, I mean, it's crazy like that to where you can just use it regularly now. It's not, when that term first came out.
People think that's actually woke.
Right.
Well, when you start like changing definitions to suit your arguments, it's like.
But I think that was one of those things that falls into the category of
mad,
cause confusion. Can't have everybody on the same thing if you're making it be something else.
Yeah. Well, again, separation and division and fear.
Divide and conquer.
Then we're running out of resources.
The oldest but best strategy ever. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Divide and conquer. Ever.
Yeah, word up, dude. Whoever
doesn't
said
matter.
that shit.
Yeah, it does not matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a personal thing or on a grand scheme. It's the best tactic.
It's been said in a lot of things, so I don't even think I could figure out where that came from.
No, that's got to be as old as time.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as there was an establishment.
Pretty much.
As old as time, man.
First caveman.
The first motherfucker that found fire, somebody was trying to divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, this guy knows how to do fire.
He didn't make that.
Him.
Yeah, the lightning did that.
Yeah. Well, that's probably how it happened.
Sure.
Well, maybe,
they found lightning struck.
But somebody figured out how to make lightning.
Someone harnised fire from lightning, kept that shit going. Yep, and then the rocks,
Right. So but no, he didn't know. He's not doing that. Lightning's still conjuring, again, bank, just making a confusion.
Well, I mean, like, esoterically speaking, that's literally like the theory of how we, man basically became man from, as it's a theory.
Again, allegedly.
But you just said it and it makes sense, right? Where it's like the first person found it like that, found lightning struck, harnessed the fire, then figured out how to make it. And people, we're talking about you see fire somewhere, you're like, I'm going to go to that. What the fuck is that? I've never seen this before. Yeah. And you go there and you see a human like you.
Horror movies. No, I'm just joking.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah. No one did not do.
And then you show up and you see a human like you standing there, and they're by the fire, and you're like, "You made that? Oh shit, you're like a sorcerer."
Yeah, right.
And they kept the fire, and then they allegedly kept the fire going so long that the rocks that they put around it to keep it going melted because it popped open. Sometimes. Mm-hmm. Then they figured out how to forge metal and weapons, and war started.
Brother.
Yeah.
Man became man with that.
Well, yeah,
give me a weapon.
Take it. I need it. I have to. Take
I can kill.
Yours.
You can eat better food. You can do everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's again.
Motherfucker that found fire. Who's he?
I want to know. I want to know how many lives were lost finding psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or finding any of them.
Oh, any of them, yeah. Just like trial and error, man. Chewing coca leaves, anything.
Hey, try this one.
Whoa, if we chew this leaf, we can
Daryl
have extra energy.
It's your turn. Try this one.
I just got over being sick.
Only took once.
I ate the wrong plant last week.
Hey, Daryl, try this one. Daryl didn't make it past the last one.
Oh, it's like
Daryl's not around no more.
with the toads.
You know the ones we don't go to? He ate
toad,
that
the buffalo. Yeah, the buffalo.
Did you see that Mike Tyson said that he did the toad?
Oh, stop it, bro! Mike Tyson was fucking
said he
doing
died.
All the kinds.
I've seen.
He's like,
I've seen some of the
psychedelic
interviews.
toad and died.
I've seen some of the interviews he was doing, and who's the one dude that he's sitting there just munching on shrooms in front of him, and he's like losing his shit on him. Yeah, dude. Oh man, I'll have to find that link again and send it to you. But he was doing like an interview, and he's like eating the shrooms because like the dude said something, and he's just sitting there eating
Tyson's
shrooms.
Eating shrooms?
Yeah,
That's
eating shrooms in front of him, and then he's like, I'm here for other reasons, right? He's like, I would kill you. Like, dude, he's like losing his shit on him.
Yeah, Mike's no joke.
I mean, you can't fuck with Mike, dude. Mike's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, again, what's crazy?
No. I'm just saying. I
think he's more animalistic.
I wouldn't want to be near Mike Tyson when he's feeling like that.
Again, I think he's more animalistic.
I mean? Like, when he's feeling a bit more like unpredictable. Yeah. I mean, I'd smoke mad weed with Mike Tyson. That'd be cool.
For sure.
You know, and he's got the edibles out now too. The fucking Holyfield.
Oh my god, the ears.
Yeah, him and Holyfield got an edible out now, and then he's got his own what's it called?
He's got his own weed farm, doesn't he?
His own weed farm. Yeah,
good for Mike, man.
Good for
he
him.
Never had it easy.
Good for him.
Nah, yeah, it is what it is, dude. He had his fucking shit too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and you can make a good case for mind control of him. Young kid in the city, sent up to the fucking country, into the Catskills, middle of nowhere.
Give him all the money.
Brooklyn. By 13 years old, he was arrested like fucking 30-something times in the city, fighting grown men for money. Go to the Catskills by like 16, 17, Junior Olympics, all that shit, Golden Gloves, knocking out grown men. By 20 years old, youngest world champion ever.
Damn.
Hundreds of millions of dollars earned in
and
purses.
Gone and spent.
Then put in prison for rape for a couple of years.
Oh, all kinds of money. Oh, you got to pee? Go ahead. Go take it.
Oh, well, I didn't want to cut in and interrupt.
No, like, I mean, if you want, we've been going for an hour and 35 minutes. It's up to you guys, man. If you got to pee, because you'd have to go around the whole table.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to interrupt.
I mean, but you're about, 5 Bud Lights deep.
Yeah. It's getting there.
That'll happen.
Time to pee.
Especially with Bud Light.
Yeah. Nah, dude, we've been kicking it, man. We didn't really plan on doing the mind control shit. Like, it turned into that anyway.
Well, I mean, and
it was a good segue because we started.
Well, and technically, because you can cut this, but, you know.
If you want. Yeah, so pause it. Yeah. We'll
and I can come back and we can jump right back in.
Well, hold on a second.
I just got to piss.
Let's see here.
Do back-to-back tonight.
I mean...
Who's that?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he was jacking Chandler up, but I mean, dude, Chandler wrecked his leg. He couldn't, dude couldn't keep any pressure on his leg.
Chandler had him on the fence and fucking. Bro, it looked like he had him out on his feet, and then he took him down to the fucking.
Yeah. First of all, we're back from the pee break. Just checking in. We got into this talk about the UFC fights. If anybody watched them the other night, they were fucking wild.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler, getting back to that though, if he didn't fucking shoot on Poirier when he had him up against the fence, that dude would have put him out.
Well, so let me tell you, I think he got frustrated that he wasn't putting him out and took the shot because he was like, dude, why is this dude not falling out?
But he had him hurt.
I know.
But he had him fucking hurt, bro. And Poirier said it, the first thing he said at the end of the fight, he's like, yo, if he could have put me away earlier there if he didn't,
But that just shows you, again, how, as I was talking about before, how great Poirier is, man, that he's one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC right now because that dude is a beast.
Oh, sure.
And actually, I came across, they were showing on UFC's Facebook the throwback of him and Gaethje's fight. Yeah. And I'm like, I need that rematch so bad. I mean, the world needs that rematch so bad, Poirier and Gaethje.
Yeah, they're going to have Poirier still up there in title contention, so.
Well, he's been, I want to say like 3 or 2 ranked in that weight class. And he's just not calling for the title. I think he didn't he? No, he didn't fight Oliveira. But I mean, he's been there, dude.
Who did?
Poirier. I don't think Poirier fought Oliveira.
He got choked out.
I thought Gaethje fought him.
No, I thought Poirier got choked out by fucking Oliveira in the interim.
Maybe.
Google that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking I don't even know. But yeah. Yeah,
either way, I mean, that dude's just he's an underrated fighter. He's one of the...
Dana White's an alien. He's a reptilian. I saw him shapeshift.
So I actually seen, he catches a lot of shit, man, but I seen a good post. He invited some kid, I forget what the disease was, but the kid was like apparently a big fan of Dana White. And Dana White had found out, so he went through channels and found this kid's family and got him to the last UFC event. And then the kid passed away a couple days ago.
Fucking dog.
So he got to make it all the way to the event. He got to make it all the way to the UFC event and then passed away a couple days later.
Yeah, I saw that post also, and I mean, yeah, it's cool, man. He at least tried to get him out there and try to get him to it. Like, he did get him out there.
No, yeah, he got him out there.
And shit, before the kid passed away.
I'm sorry, what was I looking up for you?
You were looking up verse.
Gaethje.
No,
Oliveira.
Oliveira. But yeah, because I thought he got choked out by Oliveira. Rear naked choke.
Yep. 269.
Yeah.
UFC 269.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That's because that's when Oliveira became the title, like, he became the champion. Because it was vacated still, I think. But,
Well, he defended against Poirier. He had the belt.
Okay. All right.
The interim fight was before his last fight.
And then he choked him out. Yeah.
Well, he lost. And then he lost to this dude. I don't know. He's getting trained by
Makhachev, right?
Nurmagomedov. No.
Well, Makhachev was the one that fucking
Yeah,
got
that's
him.
who won. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Makhachev, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that shit's wild, bro. Yo.
Khabib's who's
Those fights
helping train him.
They were incredible, man. Chap and I were sitting here watching them, and I was like, holy fucking shit.
Right.
Like, these were like the whole card, the chick fight.
Well, you knew
Poirier and Chandler was like fireworks.
while Wally was beating Esparza, though, there was no way Esparza was even competing with that girl.
Oh, no, man. She was shredded. Remember that? That? Yo, shredded. Like 115 pounds of solid muscle. And I was like, holy shit.
Well, and she's been beasting everybody she's been fighting. And then, I mean, it's just like Nunes and Shevchenko, man.
Would you take a punch
They
from her?
run their... From her? I mean, dude, that shit is going to hurt.
Yeah, punch from anybody's. Like,
I mean,
just a
if
clean shot.
How about if I got to, sure. But I'm not going up like, hey, punch me. I want to see how hard you are.
Come punch me in the face.
No.
Nah, yeah.
Joanna, though, I'd be about it. Just to hang out. Or like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know, like
Yeah.
get real misogynist real quick, but the boxing and women's boxing is amazing right now, and there's a lot of attractive fucking fighters too. Where it's like,
Well,
wow, like these.
Do you think that's a
And
part
some
of
them
MMA?
MMA.
well, I
So
mean,
that
that's
poses a good question, though. That poses a great question, though. Do you think, and especially
They're showing
there
up
are
to
some
press
attractive,
conferences
No,
and
they're really-
thongs
yeah,
and
they're-
shit.
they're really attractive
Elaine
females,
Bridges and
very attractive females that are going up to
Alicia
these.
Shields. Oh my god.
They're fighters. You know what I mean? Do you think that, like, do you think they feel more pressure to be, like, I guess,
I
that?
I guess I'm just more surprised that
Because
there's no way to say this.
So,
without it
sex
sounding
sells.
wrong,
Let's
but
be
yeah.
real.
Well, no,
Sex
I'm saying
sells.
like
So,
usually.
do you think
there's
it's
no
a
way
chick-
for
so
me to
here's-
say this,
here's-
articulate it,
here's-
because it's not going
so-
to sound wrong. But
so here's what I'm gonna say
surprised that
real
there's so
quick.
many attractive women that are willing to go in there and get their
Punch
face
each
punched
other's
in.
right.
faces.
So here's what I'm saying to that. I think
Not to say that only ugly women do, or I mean, I don't know how to word that.
Well, so I think with
it's
certain
shocking.
chicks, man, like they're so invested in what they do
mean, fuck it.
that
They
they're
used to
just,
always be
you know,
real
at the end of the
mad
day,
butch.
they're just still being chicks. You know, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily trying to sell sex. I mean, sure, that's probably got
when you're
a factor
showing up to the
make,
weigh-in and you're
you know,
weighing in
no,
in a
right,
thong
no,
in
right, but also in the same sense of
You're
you
trying to
know,
sell some sex
I mean,
in your
I'm
IG.
just coming from a dad of a tomboy's perspective. Like that girl still wants to be a girl deep down.
Well, I'm talking
you know?
about Elaine Bridges. She was a ring girl, a ring card girl, and
Well, look at Paige Van
now she's a
Zandt.
professional
Well,
Look
boxer.
at Paige Van Zandt. She was a hot fighter. Everybody was swooning all over her, and then she left and went to BKFC, dude, and
Swooning.
showed she can bang.
That's awesome.
But went to BKFC, dude, and showed she could bang. She wasn't just a pretty face, you know, going up there to fight.
I saw that
but
Austin Trout just signed to do a fight in the bare knuckle championship.
Dude, that shit's blowing up.
He's been a professional boxer. Paulie Malignaggi did it. He did the first pay-per-view one they had.
Dude, what got me watching was Chris Lieben headlined like BKFC 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Chris Leva, dude, and he's known for going in and getting beat up. So let me see how many punches to the face he could take without gloves or padding.
Right.
And that's what got me watching. I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, I haven't even watched them shits.
I've watched
I've been watching people like that shit.
I watched the one with Paul Bonacci.
Man,
I just watched last night.
All I see is brain
Houston
damage.
Alexander.
Oh,
But it's so
damage,
dude.
like,
so
CTE.
second card I've watched, dude, where the chick in the main event or the main card, the other one quit, got punched twice, and was like, "Yeah, now I'm done."
The women's boxing is great. Like, I've only seen literally a couple bad fights where one of the fighters shouldn't have even been in there.
Well, so quick
Other
question.
than that, they just
Shields.
get stuck into it, and they just, I mean, like,
Didn't Shields just
there's
unify
no
all
dancing
the belts?
around. Yeah, Shields. I think she's unified
Clarissa Shields?
three divisions now. She's the only professional boxer ever, man or woman, to unify 3 divisions, and she's
Good
done
for
it in
her,
like
dude.
13
Now,
fights.
what is now for somebody
Unify
that,
means you have every
right.
belt in the division.
Perfect.
So at 3 different weight classes, she has
Because
every
there's
belt.
20 belts.
How many?
In boxing, there's a ridiculous amount of belts.
There's a lot of belts.
There's 4 main ones.
So
in
to
boxing.
unify them,
You have the 4 main belts.
To
and she
unify
has the
them,
4
that's
main
huge.
belts in 3 different divisions right now.
Holy shit!
right?
Yeah.
Now, so
She's like 13-0 too, so she's done it quickly.
what? Now, how far are these divisions away from each other? Because, like, obviously,
I don't want to
divisions
quote
are-
exactly what she is, but say it's like 130, 135, and 140. So they're all probably like
By
within 10 pounds for 3
right
divisions.
for
Around there.
All right, I was just wondering how much weight like she would have to cut from like her highest division to her lowest division because that weight
I don't know
cut
if she'll
is,
ever go back down to the lowest division.
like weight cutting is
That's
crazy,
probably like
bro.
stupid hard to do
Yeah, 'cause
to be able to
older
do
you
that.
get,
and then
harder it is, but-
not even that going up weight and then jumping back, she'd probably fucking murder someone.
Well, I was just wondering because like there's like a huge debate with that Patty Bimblett dude because gets so fucking huge,
Like 200 pounds.
He
Yeah,
gets
but
so
that-
big and then cuts so much weight, and they're like, bro, that shit'll fuck you up. Like,
Yeah,
in
but-
boxing,
but
they have
clearly he doesn't
crazy
give a
strict
shit.
rules about cutting weight, though. So, like, I don't know if this is what really happened, but an example of it is the Jake Paul Hassan Rahman Jr. fight, where supposedly, well, no, they did. The commission didn't let the fight go on because the amount of weight he had to cut would have been dangerous. So that was why that fight was called off.
oh,
So
yeah, but that,
in boxing, it's like you have to. They'll check in if you're cutting weight for a fight. You have to be at this point by week whatever.
Sure,
at this point
sure.
by week whatever. If you're not there, then they're like, no way, that's too much weight to cut. And
Well, that makes sense in the boxing world, but there's like in UFC, it almost seems like they cut weight.
It's like wrestling.
Like, well, that's what I mean. Is just like
Kids cut 20
with the
pounds.
Patty Bimblett, like he's cutting like so. Let's say he's got a 6-week camp, like a 6-week training camp. Homie's cutting that weight.
He actually does pick up fights like real fast. So like he
What
doesn't
is
really
he-
get like a big
What
training.
is
Well,
he?
so real
what
quick,
division is
with,
he in?
well, so with Clarissa Shields, dude, she's got light, middle, and middleweight titles.
What weight classes? What weights?
Yeah,
are
so
they?
I'll have to look that up while I'm looking up the Pimblett. Shit.
Yeah. See what because he gets up to 210, right? So it's like when you really cut, like if you're cutting down, I want to see how much he's got to cut down to because I almost feel like he's in the lightweight division.
So he is. Of course, I put some giant ass picture. Featherweight and lightweight,
Right. So
which I'll pull up the exact weights of those.
right. So but there's a huge weight cut and like that weight cutting shit is crazy, man, because they got to go like spend hours in the sauna. Ride bikes in the fucking sauna, like crazy shit.
They do
Like,
it
you're
in
not
boxing too, where
eating,
it's like
you're not.
They
do-
have like what perfect example is Canelo Alvarez is known for doing that. That's why he can also go between. He'll never go to 160 again, but he'd do 160, 168. I think he fought Floyd at 157, maybe 154. But Floyd,
So
he
lightweight.
would put, and a lot of boxers do it in big fights, but put a rehydration clause in where it's like, you're not only going to weigh in at this, but before the fight, you can only rehydrate to, because Canelo walks around probably at like 185.
You
know
think
what I mean?
Floyd's a plant?
Well, so
I mean,
quick side
his
note,
father,
guys.
his uncle are trainers and were professional boxers. His whole family are trainers and professional. I mean, then again,
Could
it's
just
like,
be
you
a
know,
legacy.
So quick.
yeah. I mean, obviously, if you come from a very athletic family,
So for
you inherit
UFC,
that.
and then I'll pull up boxing. But UFC's weight is heavyweights 265, light heavies 205. So you're saying he's gaining weight up to a light heavy. Then middleweight is 185, welterweight is 170, lightweight is 155, featherweight is 145. And
So he's
it
cutting
goes down.
50 fucking pounds.
So that's
bro.
So that's 50 pounds of weight that dude's cutting down to make his fights.
That is dangerous, bro.
Yeah, quick.
Cutting 50 pounds in 6 weeks. I mean, I guess it's not impossible.
Well, clearly not if he's doing it.
He's out there. He's fucking wrestling fucking wild hogs, bro. That fucking wild bastard.
Hey, Khabib does it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, bears anyway.
Bears. Wrestling fucking bears. I wouldn't wrestle Khabib. Fuck that.
Nah.
It'd be a waste of my time.
So
So gonna put me in a pretzel anyway.
Yeah,
Chap,
dude is
quick question.
Just tie in a knot for fun.
Chap, quick question. Would middleweight for females be the same as middleweight for men? Like, I don't know if there's a difference
I'm
there.
not sure.
Right?
Because I'm thinking that
so-
heavyweight for women
you
is
can
not
compare the two.
200 plus.
Well, you can compare the two. Like, what's the difference?
Well, so I was the numbers I was just talking were UFC. Looking up the boxing right now, but I think I was being too specific.
Speaking of which, there's a fight. I don't know, a few minutes if I can find it. Jaime Munguia, kid's like 41-0, something like that. Has a belt, and somehow he's still fighting tomato cans. Like, I don't know how he's got away with it.
Well, I mean, the Poirier's kind of on that same boat, man.
He's
He
like
took
24,
the two fights with
25
McGregor.
years old
And,
too. He's young. I actually saw him win his belt out at Turning Stone. He was a last-minute replacement in a fight against Saddam Ali, and never heard of him. He was like 21 at the time, and came out.
so you know what's crazy?
Fight Saddam Ali, who had a belt. They're like, oh, we'll go get a beer after the first round. Munguia put Ali down twice in the first round. We're
So
like,
with-
oh shit, we can't even fucking move.
So with boxing, it actually varies between belt. So certain belts you have to be a certain weight class, but the weight classes are different at a certain weight. So like for instance, just for comparison, you have 154, which would be super welterweight
Welterweight, yeah.
for WBA, but it's a junior middleweight for an IBF. Yeah, so I mean it varies between
the
your
WBA,
size.
WBC.
However, the middleweight, which Clarissa Shields holds,
Oh, you're doing the
her
women.
stuff. Well, no, this is just boxing weight class. For middleweight, that would be 168. No, super middleweight is 168. Middleweight is 160, but I don't see a light. Oh no, light middleweight for. I mean, the only thing it's showing is for BoxRec, but I don't know what that stands for.
BoxRec is like is the go-to boxing site for records and all of that. Well,
so that's
ranks, things like that.
That says light middle is at 154.
Yeah,
so she
that's
holds
a
in light
reputable
middle
site for sure.
and middleweight.
Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
She I like Clarissa. She
Well,
just went
I
to
hate
UK.
Hate to cut you guys off, dude. We're running out of storage.
Yeah,
on the video camera.
Segued hard.
Right, we kind of took a hard fucking left squiggly line or something like that, dude.
Zagged
But
when we should have zagged.
I would keep it moving, but we only got a certain amount of storage on this
sure.
camera for sure. But thanks for listening. It was a great episode. You guys fucking excellent. Dude, real quick while I got the time. I got to do it quickly, though. Let me see here. Let me not break them.
Tick, tick, tick.
Ray, that one's for you. I don't know if you guys can see that shit.
So this is a Jack Daniels, right?
Yeah, these are
agnostic front.
Jack Daniels bottles. They are full. I'll pull one out real quick. Jack Daniels does not sponsor us, but not yet at least.
They should.
They should, but these are
Wasn't
actually,
the founder of Jack Daniels a black man? Original
not,
recipe.
Not entirely sure.
It's racist against whiskey, ain't it?
But anyways, real quick. But yeah, those are gifts. But we got to wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Check us out. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Help us out. Share this shit. We appreciate you guys. Toy Drive. Donate some friggin' toys. And thanks again for the turkey drive. Guys, we'll check you later.
Yo, thanks for this, man.
Peace.